because they know they have Genshin's way down their throat. It makes the creators look non-trustworthy and, well, a bunch of bitch, man. I don't want to say it like that, but fun fact, did you know that Genshin Impact is currently the only game within the Hoyoverse to not give a free limited 5-star character for free? Honkai Star Rail had Dr. Ratio, Xenozone Zero has that arrow guy, I forgot his name, and even Withering Waves, despite it just coming out, already gave a free 5-star character in the form of Chang Liao, who is a very powerful unit and of course is a limited character, despite Genshin Impact being the oldest game of the bunch. So if they're gonna look at players and not even deem them worthy of a free limited 5-star character like its competitors slash other IPs within their company, well, one can only imagine how they will treat creators that they themselves sponsor. Dear Diamonds and fellow Diamonds Indra, it's no secret that there's a lot of drama going on when it comes to Hoyoverse and more specifically the Genshin Impact. I guess the term Genshin Impact cannot be spoken without the term drama following suit. I feel like those things go hand in hand at this point. It's all because of drama farmers like you. I'll be completely honest, I would love nothing more than to say good things about Genshin Impact. The problem is,
I don't want to keep being mad at you, but you keep doing the same shit.
now we all know that Hoyoverse sponsors a lot of creators. The bigger, the better.
Genshin Impact, the sponsor of this video.
And there's a lot being said about how the sponsorship goes between creators, especially streamers, I think, and Hoyoverse. I've never heard something bad between someone that just mentioned a sponsored 30-second ad of Genshin Impact in their videos, but I have definitely heard, to this very day, we're still hearing a lot of people complain about how Genshin Impact treats basically the creators that make content about their game slash streams their game. The streamer that re-sparked this conversation is of the name of Nerumeru. Now, if you want the full context, I will highly advise you go watch Ryuku Sensei's video, but for a quick TLDR, basically Nerumeru is a big Japanese creator that streams Genshin Impact. He is sponsored by Hoyoverse slash Genshin Impact to play their game and is monetary incentivized to play their game. Now, a sponsorship with a company that you cover their game offers you a lot of advantages. One mainly is early access to content. That gives you a certain edge over others that don't have access to that particular content, especially when you make guides about the game. This is a live service game, and we're always waiting for the new content to release. And basically, if you already have knowledge of the content that's to come, you can make videos, informative videos that a lot of players are going to be looking for ahead of time before the content is released. It's quite the huge advantage that a lot of creators would kill for in-game. Now, how did this all start? Nerumeru decided one day to play a game called Withering Waves. It's a brand new gacha title that resembles Genshin Impact a lot, that definitely doesn't spark any problems with the title that is Genshin Impact. Oh, the IP that is Genshin Impact and Withering Waves have absolutely no beef between one another. So one day he just decides to play Withering Waves on stream. The next day, he receives a message from the agent representing Genshin Impact slash Hoyoverse telling him that they would prefer for him not to play Withering Waves on stream. You can play it in your private time, obviously, but you cannot play it in a public setting, which is Corpa's way of saying, bitch, if we see you playing Withering Waves again, you're out of the program. Of course, for us Westerners, it's, you know, we enjoy our freedom. We enjoy having the ability that as long as I'm not doing something criminal or something so controversial, I should have the freedom to play whatever I want on stream. I mean, it is still my platform, if that makes any sense. I stream games, and me playing video games. If I decide to play another video game, it's not a crime, and I'm not doing bad PR or anything like that. It doesn't make any sense for me to have the inability to play another title because you decide, no, I shouldn't be playing that. Of course, this is not too much of a surprise for us because we've already seen Hoyoverse creators not really dabbling in playing with non-Hoyoverse games for X reason. We've always scratched our head as what could that possibly be, but once the Yamaholic contract came out back in the day, but those were fake. I have no idea how people are still claiming that shit is fake, but sure, whatever lets you sleep at night. And now also this happening again with probably the second best gacha creator in Japan. I feel like it's time we sit down and really talk about how Hoyoverse goes about this. Now, Hoyoverse swears they want to emulate the CCP as hard as they can because offenses like these should not be worth all the mistreatment and then being kicked out of a whole sponsored deal just because someone forgot they had a leaks channel on their Discord, slash someone decided they have the freedom to play whatever they want to play on their streaming platform. That doesn't make much sense, which goes to show the mistreatment and just how far Hoyoverse is willing to go for the sake of pushing their own name. While what they can do is listen to player feedback, treat their players right, and improve on their game. Instead of doing that, they keep pushing creators to say things that they themselves don't believe in for the sake of Genshin Impact not doing any effort in making their game better, because they refuse to believe that the days of Genshin Impact is the only best game we have in the gacha sphere are long behind us. They seem to be operating the same way they used to operate from back in the day. Genshin Impact is not adapting to the new games that we have in the gacha sphere. Genshin Impact is like that woman that was hot when she was young, but now she's not, and she doesn't want to believe that she's not as hot as she used to be. However, swears they're like the CCP, man. You either do it 100% our way, or you're out on your ass. If you even wiggle just a little bit, nah, we can't have that, man. What, you decided to play any game you want on your streaming platform? You decided to stream another game? Oh, hell no, you are out, good sir. Which, in my opinion, raises a very big question, and that question is just how much the sponsored Genshin CC's opinion about Genshin Impact should matter. The dynamic of content creators and viewers has always been about honesty. Honesty is what brings viewers to the internet to actually look at you and see what your opinion is about the thing that they're interested in. Without honesty, you are no different than, well, that ad they've seen about that game. I mean, obviously that ad wants the shit to look good and be good. If you're gonna be the same thing, what makes you any different than that cheap ass ad that has been waiting for it to pass before watching that YouTube video they clicked on? I feel like people forgot what content creation 101 is, which is people look for honesty and unbiased opinions about things. That's the main reason people click on things, especially when it comes to video games. If Genshin CCs are going to stream, say for example, Wuthering Waves, a game that they themselves have claimed that they've liked for barely like what, 100 hours, and well, Genshin Impact is obviously their main focus, and are gonna just out of a sudden stop playing because now through what happened to that Japanese streamer, we can pinpoint the main reason as to why these Genshin CCs are stepping away from Wuthering Waves, despite Wuthering Waves being a clear better product than Genshin Impact. It's literally based off Genshin Impact and surpass it in every level. It's the same thing but better. How the fuck can you still stick to that previous thing that's obviously outdated and not playing with the new best thing? Obviously, there are outside forces at play, which for me personally makes their opinion about Genshin Impact specifically very biased and untrustworthy. When clearly there are better products, because you have to be biased and you have to keep pushing the agenda of Genshin Impact is good despite it lacking in a lot of qualities of life, and more dangerously is the way they go about treating their player base. The game just isn't what it used to be anymore, people. I mean, for God's sake, have you played Wuthering Waves for just a little bit? It's just not the same. Like Genshin Impact is an outdated version of Wuthering Waves. Like, how are we still doing this? But what I dislike the most about Genshin CCs, and from what I've seen, is the feel of security they're having while they're virtue signaling. That sense of security comes to the fact that they know they're the only motherfuckers that are fully sponsors because they know they have Genshin's cock way down their throat. Slash, they keep throwing these passive-aggressive comments toward other outspoken CCs that they should be the only motherfuckers getting praise. That guy sucks. That guy has like a questionable past. They all do questionable actions. It's this weird toxic dynamic that I've been observing that Genshin CCs have been participating in, and when they feel like they're getting trapped and losing that virtue signaling slash that passive-aggressive commentary they do, they just be like, oh, I'm just keep doing my guys and everything. Like, I'll be fine either way, because they have that sense of security that, you know what, whatever happens, I still have that massive advantage of having Genshin Impact. I'm sponsored by them. I have all these advantages by Genshin Impact. I'm good. Like, nothing bad is gonna happen, but your time will run out. That time under the sun that is Genshin Impact will eventually fade away. If you believe Genshin Impact is always gonna remain the giant that it is, you're out of your damn mind. We have amazing titles like Ananta. I think Arknight's Enfield might heat a fire under its ass too, and more titles that are still unseen. People tend to forget that it's not all you see. As we speak, there are developers somewhere in China cooking amazing shit. Like, if you think Genshin is the end all be all and always will remain that, you're just fucking stupid. In my opinion, that Genshin CCP bullshit where you have to be always just this game and you cannot even say anything good about other titles is incredibly toxic, which also makes a community of Genshin Impact toxic. It makes the creators look non-trustworthy and, well, a bunch of bitches, man. I don't want to say it like that, but it is the case. Which means you live and die with Genshin Impact. You have successfully locked yourself in a box that is just Genshin Impact. Your career as a creator can no longer go anything beyond Genshin Impact, which, if you know anything about content creating, is detrimental to your presence online. Which, in my opinion, is self-destructive. You are literally harming your own reputation, your own self, and your own presence online through this sponsorship, because anybody with 2 brain cells will just move on from Genshin Impact to Wuthering Waves, as Wuthering Waves is a clear superior product based off Genshin Impact itself. If you like Genshin Impact, you will love Wuthering Waves. The fact that people aren't even willing to transition from something as simple as this goes to show that the bias goes to the point where it's basically harming the viewers themselves. Viewers and players playing Genshin Impact, especially spenders, are selling themselves short because these creators keep pushing the narrative that Genshin Impact is still a superior product than Wuthering Waves, when it's clearly and factually, objectively, whatever the fuck you want to call it, not the case. WUWA is clearly better than Genshin Impact.
Clearly! No debating!
So through its practices, Hoyoverse / Genshin Impact has successfully ruined the reputation / careers of the very creators that are paid to push its own agenda, whilst Kuro Games is doing yet again the exact opposite of what Genshin Impact does. They're giving a lot of freedom to the creators for them to give unbiased opinions about their game, which means any good review of Wuthering Waves will be worth 10 times more than a good Genshin Impact review, / the creators get to grow alongside that very game, as that reputation will be unbiased, honest, and truthful, which respects, well, content creation 101. Which means when it comes to not only Genshin Impact the game, but also Genshin Impact sponsorships, Genshin could never.